Hello everybody and welcome back to another Redstone Oinkcraft update. My name is Mobkid78 or Mark or Mob or something along those lines, and I'm the owner of Redstone Oinkcraft. Now this is less or so of an update, but more of an explanation video. And the explanation video is for the long-awaited Redstone rank. First of all, this video I should say, is accompanied by a written guide, meaning I spent about 40 minutes yesterday just kind of cranking out a guide on how to earn this Redstone rank. And this video is to accompany that guide to provide a visual example, because parts of it are kind of hard to explain, such as the rectangles and the visuals of it. I like to just kind of add in to throw just a better way for people to understand what I'm looking for. The written guide is structured with requirements and such, and then it has a few questions that I can kind of anticipate being asked. Over time, as more people ask me more questions, I will add them if I think they're good or if they've been frequently asked. So please check the written guide. The document link can be found in the description below. I'll have it on the Discord. It'll be in the update that shows up in chat. Pretty much, the Redstone rank, newly created. A lot of people have been wanting this for a while now, and the thing that was holding me back mainly was the fact that you can go on YouTube or Google and just look up how to make something out of redstone. You might just be placing blocks and throwing redstone on it, and that's what I did before the 1.5 update, which is now ages ago. The rank prefix colors, I'm going to throw onto the screen right now. They're the first rank, I believe. Yeah, the first rank on the server to have two different colors in the name, or in the tag itself. And so, before I get to it, I just want to say, I'm not too sure 100% of what I am looking for. That bad way to phrase it. I'm not 100% on what level of build I am looking for. I am 80% sure. However, you really can't go full detail because there are limitations of a plot, and my example's not the greatest example. And I used a really simple build for it, and I don't want something that's simple, which I will get to. So, the first question on the sheet is, what are the requirements? And this is the longest part of the sheet. You don't have to read it if you're watching this video. If you can listen, I will be giving the points by bullets because it's much more organized as I already have it in front of me. I would like to state, please do not ask what to build. It is your rank, your build, you decide. I've had several people ask me what they should build for Builder, and it kind of annoys me because I want them to build what they want to build. And it also goes with the same thing that build it for fun. Build it because you want to show you know redstone. And this is more of a for a rank thing than Builder is, but I do want you to have fun with it. I don't want it to be like a lot of people have said, like, oh, I really want to do this, and that's what I want to see. Anyway, the first thing is to make a step-by-step how-to on building any sort of redstone contraption. These must be contraptions that allow for showing a deep understanding of redstone mechanics. In doing so, there are certain requirements, as always. That's the kind of starter intro. So before I get into explaining those gritty details, I want to say that there are two options of explaining how you did this, the step-by-step process, and that's in-game or through a video explanation with a simple document provided, such as the one I'm reading from now. And I'll get to that in a minute. So, little thing you should know before, your plot will most likely use an entire plot or plot layer, and you're allowed to use a second layer of a plot. Asterisk, we will not be giving out second plots if yours is full. This sheet does have asterisks where there are little Google comments on the side of the document because it's a Google document. And I recommend you look at those if you read this. So by second layer, I mean what this person has done here. And I didn't choose this plot right here exactly for this reason, but it's actually kind of convenient. See how they've done the main plot layer there, then a second, third, fourth, and I think that's a fifth. So those are accepted. What I want to do with these builds is that they pass, I want to put them in a specific location so people can actually have a resource to warp to and learn how to build whatever creations that people teach. Anyway, I'm 5 minutes in, so let's get to the actual requirements and explanation. Your how-to is overall going to look something like this. Obviously, it's got to be much more detailed, but this is a basic example of how you might start your redstone rank build and how you might go about explaining it. So there are three sections that I want you to include. 1, 2, and 3. The first one is things to know. Pretty much, my creation is a 2x3 redstone door. Final result is over there. But anyway, I did two quick examples. I'm not looking for like 50. I just want a few. And so the first thing is different ways pistons can be powered through button, pressure plate, and lever. And this build is going to be using a pressure plate format. Books don't need to accompany this. Maybe signs do, just a few little words that'll explain what you're trying to tell the person. So then I threw in that redstone torches can actually power redstone from beneath a block, just because that's going to come up in the main build. The second thing is the in-game explanation. Now this is this center part, and this is what you really want to focus on. This is the main point of the redstone build. I don't think I actually said this, and I really should have, but it's not you're just building redstone, you are teaching it. The thing I wanted to get over in the past was instead of going to Google up how to do something, you can really show that you know redstone and you are able to make it. You can use an existing creation. I mean, there are so many, and I've seen original ones on the server, but if you so choose to build a 2-digit timer clock, then go for it. It's just the explanation I'm looking for, and a tutorial essentially. So pretty much I want these labeled in parts, and on the sheet I say the in-game explanation can be done through writing books on the server. For each part of your build, meaning sections of each of the 3 previously mentioned area requirements, there must be a sign labeling and a book given for more detail. So as I said earlier, there's 2 ways you can go about doing this. You can do it with as a video, or using an in-game explanation with books. Now for a video, I'm going to quickly discuss, and then I will go to the book section. These times are included in the document, so if you're here from that, hello. So for a video explanation, you're pretty much doing what I'm doing right now. You're recording your screen. Quality does not matter. I just need to be able to see Minecraft. I don't care if there's a Bandicam watermark on the top. I also want to be able to hear you speak. Text on a screen while things are moving in the background, I don't really want to see. I mean, I'd accept the PowerPoint, but if you want to go to those lengths, go for it. So as for the video, I'll get to the book section right after this. I would like you to include, well, they're all going to look the same, but I'd like to include signs, just kind of labeling what part it is, and then I want you to have a vocal explanation and a visual explanation of what the part is of the build. I would love to see, it's not 100% required, but I would love to see something like a written document. It doesn't have to be 5 pages, well, 4 and like 3 lines, as my redstone explanation is. But I would like to see maybe 2 or 3 sentences describing what this is. Not even that for the beginning steps. Just so you can be reading off of something and not be mumbling in the video. The document is so that you can just be reading off of something, as opposed to figuring out what you want to say right then and there. If you so choose to do that, go for it. Points are slightly different between video and books. And video, it doesn't matter like how old you are. First of all, I'd like to get that out of the way. I'm afraid that might come up. And it really doesn't matter how you speak. I would like it to be everyone friendly, kid friendly, PG, yada yada yada, and I would like it to be clear, and not like mumbling around. And I mean, I understand people do that, and it's not like a problem. Some people do have a hard time speaking, but if you're gonna do that or have a hard time with speaking, I suggest you do the in-game explanation. So that's pretty much it for the video. I'm gonna get to the other requirements right after the book. So for the book, or the in-game explanation, as I called it on the sheet, you are pretty much going to have a book for every single part. You can use a chest for this part. I'll probably have some kind of, when I implement this, if I put it somewhere, I'll probably have some kind of system where books can like always respawn, or there'll be infinite in a dispenser and something below it. Or write a plugin that can just infinitely duplicate items in a chest, which really isn't that hard. I'll start trying this again, so I'm just going to voice over it. But essentially, this is the first step of the build. This shows how the pistons are powered. These pistons are what control the blocks that are essentially the door in the final build. That's really all you need for these kinds of steps. Boom. Step complete. On to part 2. And then another book. I would love for an explanation of what your build is. It doesn't have to be like 5 pages. Like, this is a 2x3 door that uses 6 pistons on either side and is activated by pressure plates. Bam! Complete. You're done with that beginning explanation. The explanation isn't the most vital part. All I want you to show is what it is, what it does in the build, and somehow that shows like you know what you're doing. It's not just redstone on block powers piston, but it's the redstone on block is going towards the piston and therefore powers the piston in the middle, on the bottom, and on top. And that is the how-to section. And the next section I want to see is common problems. So pretty much frequently asked questions. For this build, I have 2 pressure plates that appear, and when they activate this redstone, the torch turns off. I remember when I first made this door several years ago, I had the issue that I made the redstone, do this. And that doesn't work. So I thought, why not make a common problems area? So therefore, people can look and say, oh, I might have gotten this wrong. Honestly, you don't have to go all out on this part. The how-to is the most important section. How I recommend doing them if they end up being really long is to kind of wind around. So you'd go from left to right and down again, and then down, kind of like a snake. And this will come up in the other requirements because I'm going to be reading them off the sheet. But I do want to see a pathway that makes it obvious where you're going. That's that. So that's the build itself. Just to continue on with my example, what I've done is I've had a part 1, so door mechanic. And this just uses a simple lever to power the door to show how the pistons are powered. Then, part 2, powering the door mechanic. As I showed you over there, there's currently a snowblower outside, so I apologize if you can hear that. But as I showed you over there, the torch powers the redstone from underneath. And what I'd write in the book over there is replace the lever in part 1 with this mechanism here. So when this redstone is powered, people can test it out right then and there. If it's written in the book, like press a lever to see how it works, boom, complete. Part 3, I have the putting parts 1 and 2 together. So we have this piston door here, and then we have the powering mechanic. And then those get added together to simply open and close the door. Open and close, there we go. Right back here, I have a repeater, and I put a sign that said repeater for demonstration purposes, not an actual build. Because repeaters cannot go, I think, redstone cannot be powered, I think, after 15 redstone, and it powered down like right here, so I just threw a repeater right here in the center. Part 4, main function. So then I added the pressure plates to show how those get powered. Part 5, putting the essentials together. I put these on either side. This is pretty much the final build. So here is your final build. I would love to see these after you finish your entire how-to explanation. I apologize if this video is getting lengthy. I've currently had a few breaks, so I don't know the exact length. But anyway, explanation before, final example after. Boom. Basics of how to make your build are down. Now I'm going to just kind of say some other requirements and show some other requirements that people should keep in mind because they are necessary for the build. Now, one thing I ask is to be consistent with your blocks. I really don't know. This was a bad idea. Don't use this sandstone. Please use normal sandstone or quartz. Or like lapis is a bit touchy. But please use blocks that are easy to look at. I don't want to see builds made of cobblestone, mossy cobblestone, etched sandstone, obsidian. It's stuff like that. I mean, if it's really essential to the part of your build you're making, for example, if you're making some death trap that uses soul sand, then by all means use soul sand. But please keep it to one block. And to go along with that, if I have the powering mechanic at the beginning here made of quartz, don't all of a sudden over here change it to like wood or something. Just stay consistent is what I ask. So the second preferred requirement is that you use color coding, such as I have made a quick example here. There are some builds that I know use these kinds of lines of redstone that go kind of windy into builds and stuff. And I don't know if those builds are really small enough for this redstone rank. I would love to see them. Like, I know one digital clocks can indeed be done, because you can really make these rectangles, which I'll get to in a minute, as wide or long as you need them. And I really would like either clay or wool to be used for color coding, just to make it really easy to follow from point A to point B without having to go all along the redstone line to keep track of what's there. I wrote this later in the sheet, and I really should have changed it, but this is a solo build. Group redstone ranks are not a thing like Builder. So next is, just to get it over with, these rectangles here, they need to be aligned. This is my personal preference, kind of like math teachers like their own personal ways you show your work and solve equations. Please do, I think this is 9, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 10. These are 10 by 10 squares. You can use squares or rectangles, whatever. Please, if you can make it 10 and then like 20 long, 10, 20 long, just make it look nice. You can change it by row, but please don't change it by square, like I have done here. I think these are the ones that are 9. Yeah, they are. It just makes it so much easier to follow. So please do that for me. I appreciate it. So that is the end of the video explanation. I'm going to get onto the frequently asked questions to throw them in this video. Again, more will might most likely be added later. If you stuck through and listened, thank you so much. I hope the visuals helped. If you just came for the times that were in the sheet, then thank you anyway for watching. Not anyway, but as well. I hope it helped. If you have any questions that aren't in the sheet, let me know. So for those questions, I'm just going to power through them real quick. What permissions does the rank get? The rank gets access to an extra plot in creative. Their plot of the Redstone build is moved to a different location, so they are essentially going to have 2 free plots. Or if they made a second layer, they're just going to have that second layer moved. Redstone ranks will have an access to an open flatland sandstone world to be used by only those with the Redstone rank. So this is, again, a flatland world that's just sandstone. And I might put the Townie plugin in there, depending on who gets ranked and how much I trust them. They get a sweet prefix, which I showed earlier, and just want to clarify that no extra world edit commands will be given for this rank. Can you use world edit? You can, because I don't see how world edit can really be a huge, massive advantage in Redstone. Next question, how do you submit a plot? If you're finished, congratulations and well done. To submit your plot, mark it as complete by standing in it and typing /plot done. Reach out to a staff member through Discord by tagging @admin or send Mobkin78 mail /mail send Mobkin78. My Redstone plot is done. That will send me mail to the server. You can also use the contact form on the website, although Discord is probably the most efficient way to contact us admins. After that, we'll get back to you. Please do not pester us and send us all 3 forms of contact, or all 5, or whatever. We'll get back to you. We'll see them. Next question are, how are submissions judged? First off, so the next question is, how are submissions judged? First off is how advanced the build is. I wrote advancedness, but that's kind of basic. Example, are you going to make a 2x2 piston door or a functioning 2-digit timer? Just to really show the extent of what you can do. A 2x2 piston door, I mean, this was a basic build, and I don't know if I'd accept it because it only used 5 parts. I mean, it could have been done in 4, probably 3. Next is explanation. How well have you explained your build? How well have you gone into detail on each step? How well have you explained what it is? How well have you explained what the function is? So pretty much go back to that on the book explanation or video explanation on those 3-4 key things that you should include in your explanation for each part. Organization and neatness. Did you stick with a nice, easy to look at theme? Have you used symmetrical rectangles to outline each step /section? Please use rectangles. You can use any block you want. And if you do change the center block from grass, please keep it the same. Don't make any cool patterns. Next is easier to follow /replicate. Can another player or below average redstoner, such as myself, follow and learn this build? That's key. I mean, I don't know for myself about this one. I'm fairly certain it's fairly easy. I'm pretty certain it's fairly easy, but don't use too convoluted terms. I mean, I know there's like OR gates and stuff like that, AND gates and whatever. I mean, you can go ahead and explain those in the things to know section, then use them, which might come in handy. Next one is pleasing aesthetics. This is bonus points, pretty much. Really not that many bonus points, but it does help the subconscious. Think of it like a museum gallery and how they have several hallways. So this is open, and I will accept this as a basic format. It would be cool. However, if you could, maybe if you used, I'll switch out of this. If you were snaking around the outside of your plot, kind of in rows, a hallway you could walk through and kind of look into and see these. So walls that kind of follow. It would take a little bit of work to make it look aesthetically pleasing. Don't just put like walls in the ceiling. I mean, you can. You won't get points taken off if you do, but aesthetics aren't just that. That final build is not aesthetic. I don't know what I was thinking. Next question. I have 2 ranks. The Redstone rank is compatible with other ranks just as the Builder rank is. If you are trusted / devoted, the Redstone rank replaces it. The Redstone rank goes side by side with the staff and or donator rank. If you happen to have all 3, the donator rank will be shortened. I don't know how that'll work if people have all 3. It just gets long. with faction tags especially. Last question, can you submit another plot if you don't pass? Yes. It is recommended that you either work on the feedback you were given very heavily before submitting, but you just have to submit the same way as the first time. Again, please don't pester us on that kind of stuff, because that makes us pretty salty. That is it for this video. If you've watched the final thing for me, it's been about 30 minutes, so this video is probably going to be around 25. I think the questions will be around 18, or the requirements themselves will be around 18, so I really got to end this off. But if you stuck around, thank you so much. I have been your owner, Mobkin78, and I shall see you next time. If you're trying out for the Redstone rank, good luck, and I am very excited to see some of your future builds.